George's Plain Chablis. I am leaving my heart at the Hackney Bridge. Now it's Belvedere for me. Yes, it's goodbye to old Jay Harder, but it's Paul George's Plain Chablis. I am leaving my heart at the Hackney Bridge. Now it's Belvedere for me.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome everyone to the Hardcore FM podcast show. Of course, I'm your host, Hardcore Declan, and we have a busy show here tonight. I just said I'll come on and talk about this. The first topic, obviously, that we're going to get into shortly is there such thing as a crooked cop? And we're going to tell the story about Sheriff Zachary Webster. We're gonna play the video of Sheriff Zachary Webster, of course, and obviously his his power wearing a shield, and of course this happened in America, of course, because a certain person, Anthony De Silva, thinks that no such thing as police officers. There's no such thing as bad police officers, even though police officers all over the world are crooked. I'm not saying all police officers are crooked. Probably I'd say maybe 10-20%. And we're gonna play a story in a few minutes about this Sheriff Zachary Webster, of course, and obviously he was caught on his body cam of planting drugs in people's cars, and he was also 67 counts of racketeering, 4 false imprisonment. So basically, he brought people to prison when they shouldn't have been. But we're gonna play the footage now in a few minutes, and also later on the show, of course, we're gonna be talking about the mobster, the mob boss, John Gotti, and what he got up to in his peers, of course, the famous mobster crime boss, John Gotti. We will also be talking about that. So, ladies and gentlemen, as we always do, let's get into the swing of things as we always do. We're going to talk about Sheriff Zachary Webster, of course, a former sheriff. And we're going to play, it's about 5 minutes long of this person, because a certain Anthony De Silva doesn't think that corrupt cops, there's no such thing as corrupt cops. Now, this happened back in 2018, Zachary Webster, and listen to this.
There are not enough programmers in Ireland.
Sorry.
Businesses need new developers, while other course providers have rushed to
this happened in 2018.
Former sheriff's deputy was charged with 67 counts of racketeering, fabricating evidence, false imprisonment, and possession of controlled substances. Webster's accused of planting drugs in a dozen vehicles during random traffic stops.
It appears to be an illegal narcotic. Do you know anything about that?
I do not. All of the drivers denied owning the drugs, but yet most were subsequently arrested. The arrest caused suspicion internally, and in 2018, Webster was suspended. 3 years later, the case went to trial. He pleaded not guilty to all charges.
This is a case about an abuse of an incredible power, about the abuse of the incredible trust that we have to put in law enforcement in a society.
The prosecution relied on the defendant's own body cam footage to help argue their case. Stephen Van, a convicted felon, had recently gotten out of jail when Webster supposedly found methamphetamine in his car.
Have you ever seen this before? No, what is that? I'm just trying to figure out how that stuff got in your car.
You can go to jail for possession of methamphetamine. Oh man, dude, I'm serious, dude. Anything. What you want me to do, man?
So obviously that guy was very upset.
Van gave the officer
So there were 6 people on trial.
He claims he had nothing
6
to
people
hide.
on trial.
And I knew my truck was coming. I knew it was.
While the jury got to watch most of the traffic stops, some recordings had mysteriously disappeared.
Why?
What
in the
a
world
coincidence.
did that have to
Hold on,
do?
wait, I just want to pause that. What a coincidence. So some of the footage magically disappeared. And you're going to hear Zachary going to say he doesn't know how these videos got clean. So basically what these police officers are doing, they're turning off their body cams or deleting the footage, doing stuff that they shouldn't be doing, getting away with it. And that's a dirty cop. You're telling me that's not a dirty cop? Anyway, we're going to continue the rest of this, and then we'll come back and we're going to talk about this.
I wish I knew that answer.
Ironically, body cam footage would become the strongest element in the prosecution's case, especially when it came to Teresa Odom.
How are you?
At first, the officer's polite, even playful.
Anything that I need to be concerned about? Bombs, hand grenades, rocket launchers? Okay.
While Odom stands behind the vehicle, Wester begins his search. Notice as he prepares to put his gloves on, there's a small item in his left hand. Prosecutors argue that Wester is palming a small bag of meth, which he claims to find next to a spoon in the vehicle.
Ms. Odom,
It is yogurt, sir.
I'm a... Okay.
It's yogurt.
How about this, son?
That is not mine. No, sir.
Now, the white small plastic baggie that was in that spoon that the deputy just showed you on this video, had you ever seen that before?
No, sir.
Was that in your car?
No, sir.
As far as motive, the prosecution claims the 28-year-old officer was ambitious and wanted to move to narcotics as quickly as possible. Wester testified he never planted any drugs.
The drugs were there. I did not put the narcotics there.
And after 5 days and several witnesses, the jury was asked to render a verdict. If Wester's found guilty on all charges, he could spend the rest of his life behind bars. After 7 hours, the jury returns with its verdict.
In the state of Florida versus Zachary Tyler Wester, you, the jury, found as follows as to the counts charged in the information. Count 1, guilty of racketeering as charged.
The clerk went on to read the verdict on all 67 charges.
Count 7, guilty of official misconduct as charged.
In total, the crooked officer was found guilty on 19 charges.
Count 9, guilty of official misconduct as charged. Count 10, guilty of official misconduct as charged.
Including misconduct in the arrests of Van and Teresa Odom. 11 of the 12 drivers filed civil lawsuits against Wester. In July 2021, he was sentenced to 12 and a half years in a state prison.
So that was Sheriff Zachary Weedster, of course, a former sheriff. It doesn't say where, but it's obviously in the United States of America. Now, if that doesn't prove, and that's only one case, I could probably go on YouTube and probably get 10 cases of dirty cops. Now, if you're telling me that's not one dirty cop, I'm not saying all cops are dirty. Like this Anthony De Silva guy stated in his video last night that I called every cop in the United States a dirty cop. I didn't. What I said there is dirty cops out there. There's dirty cops everywhere. There's dirty cops even in my country. There's dirty cops in England. There's dirty cops in France, Spain, Canada, America. So this guy, which normally as a kid, when we were kids, we were told to have respect for the police officers and they will keep us safe. So you would rely on this guy, Zachary Webster, Zachary Webster, okay? A former sheriff. if he was my local deputy or whatever, I would be like thinking to myself, okay, he's out to look out for us, and he's going around planting drugs in people's cars. You heard it there. 11 of those 12 sued him, and in 2021, basically 2 years ago, 2021, he basically he got 67 guilty charges. He was 67 counts of racketeering, and 67 of them he was guilty of by planting drugs, false imprisonment, so basically arresting people and people going to prison. What type of police officers can do that? You take like my mother when I was a young boy. My mother says you need to respect the law and order. And it's in the. I know we're talking about completely. My mother always says respect the police, and they will respect you. And obviously, if you've been, okay, if you've been a tow rag, fair enough. You go down the wrong path. People go down the wrong paths. They do drugs. They do whatever. They get arrested. They go to prison. That's a crime. But people that we rely on, civil servants, whatever you want to call them, rely on. Like I would hate to be driving down the road one day, stopped at a checkpoint, and next of all, the guy is doing me for drugs, which I've never done drugs in my life. I would be shocked and obviously I'd be pissed as well. So this one individual, and I'm sure there's not he's not the only person in the United States that is doing racketeering and doing. I'm talking about the dirty cops. I'm not talking about the cops that live by the badge and serve the badge and do their job what they're supposed to be doing. But when these people think when you put on that badge, they think they're power. They have power because they have a badge. At the end of the day, they're human beings like me and the rest of the people. Just because I don't wear a badge or anything like that, it doesn't mean I'm this super person. If I wear a badge or not, it doesn't mean I'm with this badge I'm powerful. I'm like Superman. What the fuck is wrong with our police and all the rest of the world's police is so corrupt that and of course I had this conversation with Mr. Da Silva the other day. He according to him, it doesn't happen in his country. Everything doesn't happen in his country, but everything happens apparently in my country when he knows hand on heart that shit goes on, but he obviously pretends that it doesn't happen. Maybe in he probably lives in like a fantasy world where this shit doesn't happen when it does. And I just prove a point. All you do is just type in crooked cops on YouTube, and I'd say probably about, I don't know, I'd say 1,000 videos will pop up. 1,000 videos. So that's probably 1,000 police officers that are crooked. Out of there's probably more. There's probably 10,000 cops that are crooked. So in his little imaginary world, it doesn't happen. But it only happens in my country, according to him anyway. Even though I can admit, yes, it does happen in our country. It does happen in our country where police are either getting paid off by the gangsters to smuggle in drugs, or police are dropping drugs into people's cars. Like what people do that? And the reason how this conversation came up is everything was fine the other night. We were talking and shit like that. And then he started getting into, I can't remember, I don't know, something happened. And I was like, I think I was talking about, I don't know if it was a DLC or something like that. And I was like, GTA should have dropped the police DLC, but they couldn't because of the guy George Floyd that died. And he basically started saying, George Floyd died from fentanyl or something like that. Intoxication or some bullshit. Right? Now, tell me this. If I have my knee on somebody's head planted into the fucking ground. Drugs or no drugs, they're gonna fucking die. One or the other. And that's the reason why that man, he went to jail, because he basically, he didn't do it. He done his job, but he didn't do his job right. So this man died in vain, and that's the reason why. That's the reason why we need to have these conversations. We need to have these conversations. But Mr. Da Silva goes on, rants and raves. I don't care. He can do. I think he apparently done another video today about me again. So like, he must fancy me. Like, that's what I'm saying. And we might even talk about Mr. Da Silva maybe later on, because we have a busy show here tonight. But so if he thinks that that's only one crooked cop, and he thinks that there's no such thing as crooked cops in his country, maybe where he lives, maybe there's no crooked cops. I don't know. He lives in the fucking sticks of New York, for fuck's sake. Maybe they're little fucking mice compared to the fucking city cops. But yes, it does happen. It does happen. I'd say probably the smaller towns are probably the worst than the bigger towns, because it's small isolation. People think, oh, it's quiet, this and the other. You'd be surprised. Like the town I live in, you might think it's quiet, and it's not quiet. Trust me, it's not fucking quiet. Especially when the weekend comes, people fucking drinking and God knows what the fuck they're doing. But anyway, neither here or there. But this guy, this Mr. Anthony Da Silva, needs to wake up, smell the coffee, and realize what's going on in the real world, because it's happening as we speak. As I speak, there's probably some poor man getting his drugs planted in his car, and then when he's stopped, he's done for drugs. Like, what the fuck? What type of society are we actually living in? Honestly, what type of society are we living in? Really? Honestly. Grow the fuck up and smell the coffee, or stick something up your nose. Maybe it'll fix you or something. Do some methamphetamine or some shit. But basically the topic is there such thing as crooked cops? Yes, there is such thing as crooked cops. And I played one video out of probably 1,000 videos on YouTube. And he's a sheriff, a former sheriff. I don't even know if it even stated where he is. I don't know. It sounded like it was down south somewhere. It sounded more southern somewhere. Maybe it did say. I wasn't really listening. But so one video, and I guarantee you, if you put in crooked cops, it's funny because the first thing I put in is crooked cops. It didn't come up Garda Síochána, even though it is. I'm not saying all of them, and I'm not going to obviously blast any. Well, some police, yes, I'm going to blast, because there is crooked cops. I don't know if there's crooked cops down where I live. I haven't got a clue. I only know some police officers to see and speak to, or whatever. Then he went on. Then Mr. Da Silva went on saying there's no such thing as there was a guy that used to work, Noel Fleming. Noel Fleming used to work in the local police station there. He went on to say that there's no such thing as a person called Noel Fleming, and I don't know people around here, which I do because I fucking live here. I deal with people every day, a week here. I work here, for fuck's sake. God damn it! Like, what am I? Do I not exist? Do I not exist? And then another thing, he's bringing up my army past. You know what I mean? Like what the fuck? Seriously, bro, grow the fuck up and seriously, you're going like a fucking child. Honestly, really, really like a child, bro. Like, my country has nothing to do with you. You stay over there, do what you gotta do, piss on a fucking power line. If I couldn't give a fuck. But you leave my fucking country out your fucking mouth. Understand? Nothing to do with you. Nothing to fucking do with you. Now, we'll move on because I've busy. Need shit to do, stuff to do. So that was the first topic of the night. Is there such thing as a crooked cop? Yes, there is. Zachary Webster, of course. That's one of the crooked cops in the United States of America. Now we will move on to obviously the main event topic of the evening. Now I didn't do much research, but everybody knows about John Gotti and the Gambino family. Okay, John Gotti was a piece of shit. First of all, John Gotti was a so-called mob gangster, through the Gambino family, and John Gotti was the type of person, he didn't like to get his hands dirty type of thing. You know what I mean? So he paid people to beat people up and shit like that. But has John Gotti ever murdered somebody? Yes, he has. Yes, he has. And I'm not going to talk too much about it because I couldn't give a fuck about him because he's a piece of shit. He's like the shit that goes in your shoes. But he was a criminal, gangster, mob boss, piece of shit, going around terrorizing people, shit like that. Couldn't give a fuck. But what made me happy was he got his ass. I think it was his final years in prison. He got his ass whooped, and I would like to shake that man's hand for whooping his ass. Literally kicked the shit out of him, and he deserves it because he tortured people. He tortured people, and I'm not the type of person that condone of people getting beat up, but I'm glad that he got beat up. I'm glad. I'm absolutely glad he got beat up. Karma. That's the way I say it. Karma. What else? He done a video last night talking, saying I'm a lawyer and all this bullshit. What else? I'm not even gonna even play his videos because they're beneath me. They're actually beneath me. They're like, you need deep diving gear to get to his videos. But he done like an hour long video about apparently me and Piasta, some bullshit. I think I had to turn it off after like 2 minutes. I was like, here we go again. This guy talking shit as usual. And that's what like he has this. He must have like this weird obsession towards me. And also, didn't he state in one of his videos last night that he has pictures of me? Like, whoa, what a creep! That's like a creep. That's somebody like a sex offender or something would have. Honestly, like honestly, I'm not joking you. That sounds like a creep. And if he has pictures of me, man, that is fucking really sad. Really sad. I wouldn't be. I said this in my last video. I wouldn't be surprised if he has a video. Not a video. A picture of me, fucking 4x4 picture of me, fucking on his wall and shit like that. Like really, honestly, like what type of fucking person like has pictures of me? And then going around. Surely to God, that has to be like that has to be a legal thing. That has to be an illegal thing to have pictures of somebody. Like I don't even have like to be honest, I don't even have fucking pictures of my nephews for fuck's sake. Yeah, and they're my nephew for God's sake. And this person that I hardly know, has pictures of me. That's really fucking freaky deaky, boys. Freaky deaky, boys. Really. Now we go on, and then he stated in one of his videos that I'm the one that causes all the shit, when he's the one that causes the shit because He invited me, I think it was like one of the days last week, or the start of the week. I think it was like Monday or Tuesday. And he started like, oh, you better get that fucking Canadian guy in the party and all this bullshit. Oh no, he said he was, yeah, sorry, he was Pennsylvania. And I was like, the guy's not from Pennsylvania. So he started shit between me and Jeff the other day. And so he stated in his video, said that he never done that on me. He's done a plenty. I have an armful long of shit what he done to me. He's the type of person that, you know, he thinks he's funny, he thinks he's not. But you know what? I'm glad that I have friends that can see through this piece of shit. I am glad. But he stole my friends from Dublin. They turned that back on me because of this piece of shit. Jeff doesn't want that to do with me anymore because of this piece of shit. So this is what we're dealing with. He's a piece of shit. An absolute piece of fucking shit. But, and then what did he say to me last night? Oh, I'm gonna call the cops. Who the fuck is gonna, like, what are the police gonna do? I'm on fucking Xbox. Who gives a balls? And then he was getting this shit into his head that somebody was following him and all. Like, that sounds like a really fucking whack job. An absolute fucking whack job. That I've like, I thought certain people were fucking bad and crazy. This guy is the most crazy. Like, Bronxville don't want even that to do with this guy. Tuckahoe don't want that to do with this guy. He claims that he has an uncle working in Tuckahoe, which was proven wrong when I rang down there. And I think I must figure out when I rang Tuckahoe, and the person called him an EDP, by the way. And what an EDP means is an emotional disturbed person. That's what an EDP means. So he's calling him an EDP, and they told me that Sergeant James Kennedy is no relation to this person. Like, basically they're saying, well, I may as well. It's like me saying Barack Obama is my fucking cousin when he's not. Do you know what I mean? But you know, like, this guy, honestly, he needs help. He honestly needs help. I'm just reading some of this, some of the comments Brian and Frankie are texting in, guys. I'll give you a shout out in a bit, boys. I'm discussing business right now. Is there more than welcome to come on the show and say your piece, guys, if you want? That's no problem. But what did he say? Hold on, boy. Jeffrey. Sorry, Frankie Jeffrey goes. I just want to pinpoint. He goes, there's something that the Taliban should know. Whoa. And we're not talking about this. We're talking about Shamrock Rovers, by the way, just in case people get the wrong idea, by the way, because they're from Tala and the Taliban. You know what I mean? So, you know, I think I should stop right now. Stop where I'm talking. What else? Okay, Super Scoopy. You know, okay. The best in the world is Aaron Green. Will know. That's true. It is. Aaron Green is the best in the world of what he does for Shamrock Rovers. He might not be better than Firmino, but he's a good striker. You know what I mean? What else? Oh, hello. Who the hell is Nuba Noya? Who the fuck is Nuba? I hope. Give him the ball. He do. Oh God. What else? Give the ball to Aaron and he will score. Hoy ho, Scoopy United. Everywhere we go. Oh Jesus. They're the boys. They're the lads that keep me going every day of the week, boys. Great lads, absolutely great lads. But anyway, we're getting off topic. We're getting way off topic. I said my piece about obviously the police all over the world, and I'm not trying to tarnish anybody, you know, anybody's police departments. You know, we have bad police, we have good police. I'm sure it's the same in the UK and Wales and Scotland. Good police, bad police. But please, Mr. De Silva, wake up, smell the coffee, bro. There's shit going under your nose, you don't know, but you're obviously going to, be a knobhead and just basically say, oh, that doesn't happen, when it does happen. Frankie just said, get back on topic, for fuck's sake. Oh, see, he's the boss. He tells me what to do, and I have to get on here, waste my fucking night, and do what Mr. Frankie Jeffries has to say. You know what I mean? Even though it's hardcore Declan, you swear it was the Frankie Jeffries show, for fuck's sake. Like, he's the boss. He is the boss of Hardcore FM. Right, what's it? Mr. De Silva puts coffee in his what? In his snout. Is it? Is it snout? Chubba shoves. It in the case and shoots it out. Oh Jesus, boys, Jesus Christ. But anyway, guys, that's been our unexpected Hardcore FM podcast show, of course. Now we need to have our shout outs. We need to have our shout outs. Of course, as we always do. We'll start with the circle, of course, the click. Or should we go from the outer circle to the inner circle? What should we do? We start with the click, boys. Okay, I want to say hello to Brian, Aaron, and Frankie, of course. How he's doing, boys. I want to say hello to Matt as well, of course, listening in as well. I want to say hello to my beautiful wife, Roshan. Of course, my brother in the sky, Colin, of course. I want to say hello to Dan Oakley. I want to say hello to Drac. I want to say hello to Mary Brown, and so on. Knucklehead, Helsing, so on. Anybody that we've missed, fuck yous, because I'm joking. Oh, Kieran Riley from Cavan Town. Kieran Bourne, used to live in Virginia. And I think that's it, guys. And now we will go over to Detective Sergeant Anne Marie, of course, out in Baileyborough. Garda Owen Finn and Retordy Noel Fleming, of course. Retordy, Garda Sergeant Noel Fleming. Of course, hope you are all doing well, guys. I hope you like this podcast show tonight. I will be back, guys, on next Saturday for the Royal Rumble preview show. Like I always do, of course. I always do my wrestling shows, and I try to normally do my wrestling shows, then come on and talk about this piece of shit. But you like this. You actually like saying to me talking about this piece of shit, this Mr. De Silva that hasn't got a brain. Maybe he has a paragraph brain. Exactly. He thinks he knows personal shit about me, which he knows. Half of the stuff was probably a lie that I told the Dublin crew anyway, so I couldn't give a fuck. That's bygones be bygones. I don't care. They're in the past. I don't speak to them anymore. Don't want to speak to them. But anyway, guys, that is our. I was going to say that's our prediction show, but we didn't have a prediction show, guys. It's going to be the 28th of this month when we have our Royal Rumble prediction show. But guys, who's actually going to win the Royal Rumble, guys? The people in the chat. Frankie, who do you think is going to win the Royal Rumble? Brian, who do you think is going to win the Royal Rumble? Come on, give us your predictions. Cody, they're saying Cody. Frankie's saying Cody. Cody Rhodes, right? Okay, yeah. Come on, Brian. Who's going to win? Cody? Who? Candice Michelle. She's going to win the women's one. Oh, why is she coming back? Or what's the story? Is she coming back? I know there's a former Diva champion coming back. But we'll wait and see anyway. I don't know if that's just a one thing only or what's happening or what. But anyway, guys, that's been our show tonight. Thank you very much, guys, for coming in and letting me come into your living rooms or wherever the hell you are in your house, or if you're out walking or whatever it goes on this cold Friday night. But guys, thank you very much for coming in and listening to my shy. I know Brian is laughing at this, and Frankie's laughing at this, because for some reason every time I say shy, it's funny to them. So let me see, Declan, get me Brian on next week. Yeah, sure, guys. You can come on next week, guys. Talk about football. I'm not gonna be. I'm just gonna be the moderator. You can talk about football. I'm not getting into it. I do want to. The only thing is, I want to get into a topic is, do footballers pay too much money? I need to get you on, guys, and we need to have that little bit debate. But if it gets too, too hot, we'll have to end the conversation, just in case we do get too hot. But yeah, no, sure. You're more than welcome to come on the show, talk about football, talk about wherever the fuck you want. I'll be on the 28th. I'll probably be doing my prediction show, but we can have a bit of a football, whatever you want to do, or we can do a show the Friday or something. That's no problem. And then I can do my prediction show on the Saturday or whatever, or I could do a football show on Thursday and then maybe my prediction show on Friday, and then I'm free Saturday for the Royal Rumble. Let's see. Yes, Dunbosh. Right. Okay, guys, I'm out of here. Slán Lat Moshe the Hule, Osan Bukel, Osan Colin, guys. I'm out of here, guys. Good night and God bless.
I am leaving my heart at the Hackney Bridge. Now it's Belvedere for me. Yes, it's goodbye to old J. Harder, and it's bonjour to Plain Chablis. I am leaving my heart at the Hackney Bridge. Now it's Belvedere.